are love, you are light, you are worthy, you are chosen, you are safe, you are whole, you are forgiven, you are precious, you are divine, you are the radiant, you are the dream fulfilled, you are the word made flesh. We are one, we are the temple, we are the breath, we are the spirit, we are creation, we are eternal, we are grace, we are favor. We are seen, we are known, we are abundance, we are rising, we are redeemed, we are redeemed. I love you, I am love, I am you, you love me, you are love, you are me, we love us. We are love, we are love, we are truth, we are God. I remember, I accept, I become, I am, I
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this great big flat baseball field earth underneath the Astrodome. When you're here, you're under the power of the Houston Astros. Do you know what I'm saying? And wherever you go, no matter where you go, everywhere is STROS. It's kind of like the Communist Party of China. One of their generals said one time, and this is not a joke, he said this just a few years ago. He said, wherever there is water, there is China. What he meant to say was, if you can translate it properly instead of directly, what he means is everything belongs to China. And the literal translation of the name of China is Geaux. And Zhong basically means middle or center, and Guo means land. And so they named China this name because they're literally saying it's the center of everything. It's the center of the land. It's the center of all land. They're literally claiming it as like the kingdom of everything, of all land, of every place. So but these things are not a joke, by the way. I just thought it was funny because it's kind of my comparison to everything being just a flat baseball field everywhere you go. So it doesn't matter where you go, which city, which country, it's all underneath the Astrodome, baby. Even Dyking Park is under the Astrodome. We are under the authority of the Houston Astros. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Yes, Fram Burglar is on the mound today. Yes, sir, he is. Welcome to my members, my awesome members to Go STROS. I am almost at 30 members. I need 4 more members to get to 30. If you have not considered membership to my channel, you can do that. I've got 3 levels of membership. First level is super cheap. If I'm not mistaken, it's less than $2 a month. It's very, very, very cheap. I've been considering whether or not to make at least the tier 1 membership required for people to use the chat, because the chat just gets so busy, and for me to be able to pay attention to it and I guess you could say police it, it's a little difficult for one person to do and do the live stream. And but if I have like a very low, like a $1 or $1.50 a month tier membership, then that would mean that anybody can listen to and watch my live play-by-play, but in order to participate in the chat, you'd have to be a member. I'm considering that. And there are other reasons why I'm considering that. It would help clean up the chat a little bit. It would help keep away a lot of the negativity that comes in sometimes. It would definitely keep out the spammers because they're not gonna join. And those who are really committed to what we're doing here in the community and the building this Astros community on YouTube. So I'm considering that, but we'll see. Angel, welcome back, man of culture. I salute you as well. Angel says, I missed the last game, but I was with my grandkids. I'm glad I missed it when I saw the results, but tonight is nice to see Jordan back at the field. Yeah, yesterday Jordan, even though he didn't get a hit, it was kind of a typical Jordan game because they were pitching around him. The first at bat, 4-pitch walk, nothing in the zone. The second at bat, he did get a fly out. The third at bat, it was the same as the first at bat, 4 pitches around the zone, nothing in there to swing at. And then his fourth at bat, ground out. So he only got the bat on the ball twice. Let's hope he sees better pitches today. Abel, welcome back. Good to see you, and thank you for your messages, by the way. I saw your messages. I believe I've already responded. Your messages, your comments on my posts, greatly appreciated. Very, very much so. Abel says he's in Colorado sporting his Astros gear. That's awesome. A few years ago, right after the Astros had won a championship, actually it was right after they had won the 2017 championship, I happened to be wearing a special jacket that I had made in China. It has the Astros colors on it, and I had my Astros hat on. I was in Seattle, and a guy actually said, "That's a strong team, man. Congratulations." I couldn't believe it. It was very nice. So it's nice to represent your team when you're out in other cities, especially the rival cities. But it's funny that you're in Colorado wearing Astros gear today. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. Yes, hoping for a win for sure. Thank you, Ben. I'm not one of those guys that tries to make it sound like I'm creating all the music and doing all the singing and stuff myself. Even my images on the screen and my coding and everything, I heavily rely on the AI to help me. And I'm not gonna lie about that. Some people say, "Why do you use AI to make music? Why don't you get people to do that? Why do you use AI to make media and pictures? Why don't you get people to do that? Why do you use AI to do your coding for your website or your channel? Why don't you get people to do that?" Oh, that's fine. If they want to give me tens of thousands of dollars to pay people literally every single day to do those things, then by all means, I will be more than happy to pay people to do those things. But I am one guy with almost no money. So having AI tools to help create the media that includes music and the coding, the images, everything that you see that I'm able to build for this channel is a combination of software and AI tools. But I'm not AI, at least not right now. So when I use my voice, it's my voice. And when I use my beautiful, handsome image with my boyish charm, it's me. It's not AI. I have no qualms about admitting that I used AI and software for support. So I like writing, so I write the lyrics, and then I use the AI and the software and my editing tools to produce the final version of the song, and when I'm happy, I use it. So thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. I really like it too. Hi, Fox at Bat. Good day to you. Thank you for being back here. Another one of my beloved members, Fish-Eyed Fool, with the Fram Burglar going on. Michael Fontenot, good to see you. Will the real Fromber please stand up and take the mound? I hope it's the good Fromber. You know, the Dr. Jekyll, not Mr. Hyde. Hey, Gregory, good to see you back, sir. Hello to you. Welcome back, another one of my members. If you guys are interested in using any of the awesome emojis that we have on the channel, I can show them to you again. The only way that you can use these emojis is if you're a member. And like I said before, memberships are super cheap. And your support is deeply appreciated. I really don't know what I would do without some of the donations I've received recently. There's some extra things that I've been able to do that have provided me some peace of mind and the ability to keep doing what I'm doing here. So there's no shortage of gratitude around here. Trust me. Absolutely trust me. Big G, no problem. Thank you. Hey, Gregory, welcome back. It's going all right. We had actually a heat wave here, and I thought it was kind of strange because I looked at the temperature and I thought it doesn't really seem to be hot enough for a heat wave. But I realized that the pressure, the humidity, and the heat combination, the combination of things, even though the temperature was not as hot as it was previously, they were dropping in warnings. But I started feeling really bad a couple of days ago, and it kind of correlated with that heat wave. So yesterday after the live stream, I went to the city, and I literally spent the whole day indoors in the air conditioner. I feel, I would say 85% better today. I had a good sleep last night, so the pains that I was having, especially over here and then a little bit over here, the nausea I was having, all of those symptoms I was having that were just really putting me down the past couple of days, improved a lot yesterday, and I feel a lot better this morning. So thank you for your concern. Hey, old dog, another one of my old subscribers and current member. Julia is having a little chit chat, talking about Fromber and what's been going on with him. But let's take a quick look while they're doing that. Fromber's getting ready to go on the mound. Let's take a look at what's going on in the Astros infield. We've got a few changes today. Jeremy Pena is at shortstop, leading it off, followed by Yordan Alvarez batting second in the DH spot. Big change today from fourth to second. Let's see here. Carlos Correa is batting third at third base. Juan Sanchez in left field batting cleanup, interestingly enough. Christian Walker batting fifth at first base. Cam Smith batting sixth in right field. Mauricio Dubon at second base batting seventh. Batting eighth is Jacob Melton in center field. And Cesar Salazar is back and batting in the ninth slot. He's catching today. How about that? My guess when I see that is that Yiner needs more time to take a break. Maybe Caratini isn't durable enough to catch multiple games in a row. Old dog, if you look at the new emojis from left to right, the first one is the Colton Gordon old-timey jam. Of course, Colton Gordon is no longer with us, but the old-timey jam remains. So if we ever get in a jam, you just type jam, and you get the old-timey jam. Whenever our pitchers or the other pitcher maybe gets into a jam, you can use that. There's the Ghost Stros emoji, the Batman Victor Caratini emoji, the Jose Altuve snap emoji, the Fram Burglar emoji, the Jeremy Pena flash emoji, and then the South Korea emoji. After that, we have the Jesus saves emoji. It's the Buddy Christ reference. And then the last one is Christian Skywalker. Glenn, good morning to you, sir. How did your work go yesterday? Unloading stuff. Did you finish everything? First pitch on the way. Wow. Couple of inches outside of the zone, but called a strike on the sinker. Strike one. Oh my gosh, Caratini is on a 7-day concussion IL. Okay. So they've got Caratini on a cautionary 7-day concussion protocol. That's why he's not catching today. I would imagine Diaz is still out because of his hand needing some rest. He got hit really hard on the hand. That pitch is a little outside the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Freeman at the plate for the Rockies. Batting .285 for the year. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. Change up in the bottom of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Ken, you're right. The nasty shot to the wrist for Diaz. Absolutely. He's lucky that he's not out for the season. That's in the dirt. Curveball. Fromber tried to get a swing and a miss, but that was a terribly low curveball. He's going to have to do a little better than that. Full count. Astros wearing their standard white uniforms today. Here comes the next toss. This is hit into center field, right to Melton. Nice light liner on a full count pitch, out number 1. Tyler Freeman goes down and Brenton Doyle comes to the plate. It's a good question, Ken. Which Fromber are we getting tonight? We've had a couple of other people already mention that question, right? You're right, RK. Caratini is in the concussion protocol, just for safety's sake. 79 curveball right below the zone, swing and a miss. Now that's what we're talking about right there. Strike 1 to Brenton Doyle. Here comes the next toss. In the dirt, inside another curveball, but too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1. Oh, after a little delay. Now here comes the 1-1. This is a little grounder tapped to Pena, who fires over to first base to get out number 2. 3 pitch out there. 2 up and 2 down. Next batter is Hunter Goodman. Glenn says trailer unloaded, car unloaded, rest day today. Pick up more stuff locally tomorrow, then travel again over the weekend. Last big load and the moving is finished. Good. 93-mile-per-hour stinker on the inside, ball 1. 1-0 is the count to Goodman, who's batting .274 this year. He's actually got 26 homers, leading all NL catchers. Can you believe that? Maybe most of those are in Colorado. There we go. Another ground out to Jeremy Pena, and it's a 1-2-3 start for Framber Valdez. That's so much better than his last first inning, right? 3 up and 3 down. 9 pitches, 5 strikes, 3 outs. Good Framber. That's a good Framber. That's a good Framber. You're a good Framber. Who's a good Framber? Yeah, I see that, old dog. Unfortunately, 4-3, Seattle beat the Padres. That's unfortunate. Right now, the Astros are only 1 game ahead. We need this game to get back to 1.5 games. If we were to allow the Rockies to get a hold of us today, we'd only be half a game ahead of the Mariners, so we have to win. We must win! This is Houston! Yep, the curveball is 50-50 right now. He's thrown a couple in the dirt, and he's thrown a couple right below the zone where they should be. As long as he can keep it in the right spot and not drop it in the zone by accident, he'll be okay. We definitely need a good Framber for 7 innings. A nice solid Fromber and some great hitting for 7 innings would be just what the doctor ordered. Yeah. Is that hat new? Oh, no, no, no. Brendan, this is my old Astros hat. I've just got it turned around. That's all. It's a little warm today, so I turned my hat around so I could get a little more cool air in the front of my head. Chase Dollander is the pitcher for the Rockies. 6.91 ERA. He's facing Jeremy Pena. Here's the pitch. 98 right on the inside. Strike one. Oh, and 1 is the count to Jeremy Pena. Here comes the next pitch. Another fastball on the outside. So Jeremy Pena takes a fastball on the inside for a strike and then one on the outside for a strike. Both 98 miles an hour. 0 and 2. Come on, Pena. Get yourself a good pitch. Here's a toss. Throws a curveball outside and low. Pena swings at it. 0 and 3. Pena looks like trash on the very first at bat. Takes a strike, swings at garbage. If that isn't old Jeremy Pena, I don't know what is. 2 guys I think of when I see that at bat. Yainer Diaz and Jeremy Pena. The traditional historical versions. Yordan Alvarez at the plate. 99 inside, ball 1. Here comes the next pitch from Dollander. Curveball outside. So he starts Alvarez off a little bit differently, throwing balls too far inside and then too far outside rather than in the zone. 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Woo, 99 right in there. Yordan fouls it off. I certainly hope so, Gregory. I really do hope he goes deep tonight. Yeah, old dog, this is a Cy Young. He's got a 6.91 ERA. 6.89 now that he's retired, Jeremy Pena. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, 93 low and inside on the cutter. Yordan goes after it and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hi there, Daryl. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on here in the top or bottom of the first, rather. Too far inside. Full count. 98 mile per hour fastball, nowhere near the plate. Closer to Yordan's feet. This crowd is pretty empty, Dyking Park today. Kind of surprised considering how Yordan's back. Way outside and high. Ball 4. Yep, once again, even though Dollander managed to get a couple of swings and strikes from Yordan, he wasn't fooling around on those last 2 pitches. He didn't put them anywhere near the zone. That's a runner on. Pretty cool. League leaders this month in all of MLB. Correa is number 2. Third baseman. First pitch is in there for strike 1. 1 out. Yordan on first base. Bottom of the first. Carlos Correa at the plate. Here's the toss. A little low and inside. 1-1. Thank you, Daryl. Same to you. Yeah, ERA alone it's just a general overall indicator. But you know what they say about any given day in baseball, even the worst team is a professional team. You can't take them lightly. It's not like they don't have any wins, you know. That was a strike. 1-2. Here comes the next pitch to Correa. He fouls it off. Count remains 1-2. I'll take a Walker home run. If Walker keeps hitting the bomb, I don't care how many times he strikes out as long as he keeps hitting the bomb. Angels going to the game Sunday against the Angels. Who's pitching that day, Angel? Here's a pitch. High and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to South Korea. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Right in there on the inside. Fouled off from the fists. Count remains 2-2. I sat at Starbucks yesterday for many hours writing on my novel. The only thing I had the entire time was a cafe misto, which is basically like some milk and coffee together with no sugar. I wound up writing over 3,500 words on one chapter, and then I translated it into Japanese, then headed back home. It's next pitch. And it gets him looking on the 2-2 pitch on the inside, 98 miles an hour. So Pena has struck out and Correa has struck out. We got a fastball pitcher on the mound. I think they should just be looking for that pitch. I mean, he's throwing basic pitches. This guy has a basic pitching repertoire. He hasn't thrown anything complicated. Sanchez is at the plate. 99, he fouls it off. 0-1, 2 outs, Jordan on first base. But anyway, whenever you buy a coffee here at Starbucks, you can get a second one for like $1, basically. 99 right in the middle of the zone. He fouls it back. 0-2 is the count against Sanchez. So I got the extra one. I got the extra coffee on the way out, and I just brought it home and put it in my fridge, and I'm drinking it this morning. If you're wondering how I can have Starbucks at 9:25 in the morning out in the countryside. Here comes the pitch. This bounces off the catcher. Jordan will go to second base easily. So at least we have Jordan in scoring position. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Sanchez. You can see that's funny. Sanchez tried to put his foot out there actually to get hit. That was funny. Here comes the 1-2. Outside, 99. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. This is granted through the middle. It's going to get through. Jordan coming around third base. He's going to score with no throw. Look at that. A cue shot right up the middle by Mr. Jesus Sanchez. Jordan's mini-me comes through. Look at this. Everybody was shifted over, and that left a huge gap. And guess what? He went right through there, and it was just a tap. But there was nobody close enough to it. Just a bare... I mean, it was such a light tap. They couldn't even throw it home. Jordan scores easily. 1-0 Astros. Heck yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. Jordan didn't even hit the ball, but he's already made an impact. This is exactly what I was talking about in the video that I made. They have to pitch around Jordan. They get him on base. A wild pitch, he gets to second. Sanchez comes through. There we go. That's that run differential I was talking about. We don't need Jordan to hit bombs just to score runs. He affects the lineup in other ways, and this first inning is a perfect example. We've already got one extra run because of the way the pitcher has to pitch to Jordan. That'll do, Pig. One hit for the Astros. One run. Christian Walker at the plate. Come on, Mr. Skywalker. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Fromber looked great, Paul. He only had 9 pitches, 3 up and 3 down. Couple of ground balls and a fly ball. Nothing big. Up and in. Almost hit him. 98 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to Walker. Yeah, Glenn, I saw your comment there. I'm definitely still writing it. It's just really slow right now. But I finished chapter 39 and sent it over to my beta reader, my sensei in Onamichi. 99 swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mr. Walker. It's coming along slowly, but it's coming along. I just wrote some very, very heavy... Last month I wrote some very heavy chapters, and it was just... I guess I needed a break. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Out. Up and out. Sanchez coming off the field there. He's got the for Astros first run. Isn't it interesting? Yesterday Sanchez hit a homer. His first at bat. Very first swing. Today he just taps it up the middle. Just a little cue shot. Scores Jordan. So he's got the only Astros RBI so far this game. But it's 1-0. We've already got the Jordan effect going on. So all of those people out there that think that Jordan's main contribution to the Astros is that he hits the long ball or he hits doubles or he hits RBIs. Nope. That is a big contribution, a big direct contribution. But the bigger contribution is the byproduct of his bomb hitting. And that is that the pitchers have to adjust with him in the lineup. And the reason, or rather the effect of that adjustment, is that it creates more opportunities for the others to score runs. And that's exactly what we saw in the first inning. Astros already benefiting, up 1-0. Dollander will be back later on. He's up to 23 pitches and 14 strikes. So they worked him a little bit in the first inning. Framber Valdez back up on the mound. Actually, 11 pitches. I thought he had 9. It just wasn't updated on my screen. He had 11, but 11 is still good. 11 pitches with 6 strikes in the first inning. 3 up and 3 down. He's now facing Jordan Beck. Followed by Warren Bernabel and Ezekiel Tovar. Travis, I don't even want to think about that question. Ken says that was sweet. Yeah, absolutely it was. Jordan's first time scoring since he's been back with the Astros in the second game. That's not bad. Already having an effect on the team, right? First pitch to Beck on the way. Curveball in the dirt. Ball 1. This Beck does not have 2 turntables nor a microphone. Here's the next pitch. Nice curveball right in there on the inside edge. 1-1. That was beautiful. If he's going to put it in the zone, that's the place to put it. Ken says a friend of mine had a theory or idea. Put Fromber in a sensory deprivation tank a couple hours before game time. Sensory deprivation. Hey, they say he went around on that curveball. No, it was a sinker. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, he went around. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt. Held up on that one. 2-2 is the count. Ben says, well, that's just good value. It sounds like something from a commercial. Garcia out there in the bullpen. Take a look at that. Looks interesting with the glasses on. Here comes the 2-2 count. Pitch. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Fromber picks up a K on a beautiful curve on the outside. Beautiful. 100th strikeout of the year with the curveball. Look at that. It makes you want to cry. When I see the strikeout on the curveball, the tears come to the eyes. 1 down. 4 retired in a row. And Bernabel. Are you warming, Bernabel? Comes to the plate. This is hit out into right field. Cam Smith floats over and puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out against Bernabel. 2 up and 2 down. Ezequiel Tovar will be up in just a moment. Here comes the next toss. 90 miles per hour, just a little off the plate with the changeup. 1-0 to Tovar. Batting .263 today. 1 for his last 16 at bats. With that swing and a miss, he's not improving his odds. 1-1 is the count. Oh, I see, Ben. I see. Got it. Thank you for clarifying that. I wasn't quite sure. I was trying to guess what you meant. But yes, that's right. You're talking about the Starbucks value. Absolutely. It's tremendous value. Because, you know, the first one is kind of expensive. But when you factor in how cheap the second one is, it makes both of them very affordable. Especially since they're so huge. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tovar. I don't often go to Starbucks for various reasons. If I lived in the city and my cash flow was higher, I'd probably spend a lot more time there while I'm working on the computer. Outside on the slider, full count. Nobody on, 2 outs, full count. 22 pitches now under Valdez's belt. Curveball strikeout? I think so. That's my guess. Here comes the curve, baby. Here's the pitch. No, he goes with the sinker, but he fouls it off. Count remains 3-2. Yeah, from here to Starbucks, it's a 45-minute drive, so it's not like I can go there often. You know, gas money and all that. Way outside and high. Unfortunately, the curveball loses. He loses the curveball. He wants a different ball now. He wants to change it out. He gets a new one. The old ball slipped out of his hand, looks like. So we have a runner on first base. First walk of the game by Fromber. Yeah, he does. That last pitch got away, but that's just 1 pitch. Kyle Carros at the plate, batting .300 for the season. How many at-bats does he have? 93 right in there. The sinker tips off the end of the half swing, goes into the glove of Salazar. I caught myself there. I almost said Diaz or Caratini. Salazar is behind the plate catching today, for those of you who don't know that. Here's the pitch. Ooh, nice. Curveball, low and inside. It started off in the zone and came low and inside. Carros went after it and missed it like a noob. Missed it like a noob. No balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2. Another curveball in the dirt. Did he check his swing? Yes, he did. They say he didn't go. Almost got the strikeout there. Yeah, it was nasty. It was a nasty curve. Yeah, Fromber's looking definitely much better. I mean, anything is an improvement over the other day. Oh, another curveball strikeout. Look at that. The curveball's working. Fromber Valdez working it, feeling it, working it, feeling it. Look at this. Whip. Strikeout 101 with the curveball this year for Mr. Framber Valdez. What kind of cheese would you like with your wine, sir? I will have Framber cheese. You know how they make it? They take the stick and they curve it. They curve it. You know? Or something like that. That's the end of the top of the second. No hits, no runs, just one walk so far against Framber. The Astros due up in just a moment, starting off with Cam Smith. Guys and gals, I'm going to give you some good news right now about Cam Smith. Cam Smith is about to go gangbusters for the rest of the season. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm just letting you know. I don't know if it's going to happen at this at bat, but it's happening this game. If it doesn't happen, then you're welcome to fly over to Japan, come to Hiroshima, walk up to me, and say, you know what? You were a little off, but I'm going to buy you a coffee anyway. Oh, Brendan, okay, I see. Cesar Salazar. Caratini, Victor Caratini is on concussion protocol for 7 days. Diaz is taking a break, probably because he got nailed on the hand by a 94-mile-per-hour pitch. So they brought up Cesar Salazar to come in for today. Actually, it's probably not just for today. He's probably going to cover a couple of different days. Just my guess. That's not official. That's official Geaux STROS, but that's not official Astros. You know what I'm saying? Crank It Up Cam is back. Welcome back, Crank It Up Cam. Here comes the first pitch. 97 miles an hour, swing and a miss. Cam getting used to the speed. He calls a timeout to get a little adjusted in the batter's box. Ken asked, do you think Uncle Joe sat Cam down and gave him the Dutch uncle lecture? Absolutely. 80 a little outside, could have gone either way, but it was ball one. Not a great pitch to be swinging at. That was a difficult pitch right on the outside edge. 1-1. Nobody on. Bottom of the second. Crank it up, Cam. Here we go. He hits this one hard out to right field, very deep, all the way out to the right corner, almost deep enough for a homer, but foul by about 20 feet. Opposite field. 30th pitch of the game coming up for Dollander. The count is 1-2 against Cam. Ken, what you said reminds me of something I see sometimes in the bathrooms here. I'll tell you in just a moment. Way outside on the curveball, Cam does not chase it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. When you go into some of these bathrooms, they have some images on the doors and that show you what the bathrooms are used for. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. 98, opposite field, swinging a foul ball. Cam staying alive. He's on it. There's Altuve. Got a little break today. Little breaky break. Here's the next pitch. This is a ground ball to second base. He is thrown out at first base for the first out. But take note, Cam Smith did not take any strikes in the zone. And he was swinging the bat, multiple foul balls, 1 home run distance. He's there. I'm telling you, he's there. I feel it. I feel it in me bones. I feel it in me bones, I does. That brings up Mr. Mauricio Dubon. Takes the first pitch in there for a strike, 90-mile-per-hour cutter. But Ken, back to your point. One of the images I've seen in the bathroom stall. Whoa! This is sitting in the gap, left center field. Dubon is gonna be heading to second base. Is he gonna get there? He slides in head first. He's got it. Safe at second base. Doobie with a first pitch double. A Doobie double. Look at that. Sorry, that was a second pitch. Why did I say first pitch? Doobie double to left center. All right. Second inning, we have another guy in scoring position with one out. And that brings up Jacob Melton, the baseball player formerly known as Blade Rogers. Here comes the pitch. Opposite field, foul ball. No, that goes back to the screen. 99 miles an hour. But anyway, what I was trying to say is really quickly, there's an image that shows, you have like a little seat that's attached to the wall. If you have a small child, you can put the child in the seat while you use the toilet. And the image, it makes it look like you put the child in the seat so you can have a talking to them, That's what it looks like to me. Outside on the check swing, the umpire says that Melton went. Strike two. The count is 0-2. So, Ken, what I think is that Joe Espada put Cam Smith in one of those seats and gave him a talking to. I said all of that just to say that. That's funny. 99. Woo! Melton couldn't hold back on the check swing. 99 above the zone, and that's another strikeout for Dollander. 2 down. Doobie on second base. Cesar Salazar, batter number 9. First bat in a while. He was just brought back to the Astros today. First pitch on the way. 98, low and inside, ball 1. He is a lefty. Let's see if he can get a smack. Here comes the pitch. On the ground to first, a very slow tapper. Taken easily. That was pretty weak. That was so weak. But at least he got the bat on the ball, right? He didn't strike out. Melton let us down. He should have at least put the bat on the ball, and he couldn't do it. Cesar Salazar comes up and hits a weak out to end the inning, but at least he put the bat on the ball. The Astros have 2 hits, 1 run on the board, and that's the score, 1-0 going into the top of the third. Fromberg will be back up in just a moment. Paul says, I do enjoy a good Cesar Salazar with my meal, as long as there aren't too many croutons. Oh, man, I love the croutons at Outback Steakhouse. I think they use the bread there to make their own croutons. They come out so fresh and yummy. Absolutely delicious. I love those. A nice Cesar Salazar salad. A nice Cesar Salazar, like you're saying. Slamuel. That's a cool name. I like that. Slamuel. If you didn't change your name to that legally, you should. My name is Slamuel. You mean Samuel? Nope. Slamuel says, I love your play-by-play show. We went to the game last night. It was Hello Kitty night. The Astros played like Hello Kitty last night, but we still had fun. Yes, that's right. That on the live play-by-play yesterday, I called it Soft Night. Instead of Hello Kitty night, it was Soft Night because that's the way the Astros played. But you're right. It was Astros playing like it was Hello Kitty night. They certainly did. They certainly did. But I'm glad that you had a good time. If you got a daughter especially, who wants to go to something like that, that's a good way to get them involved. I like that they're mixing it up, because baseball by and large is a man and boys sport. It's just the fact. For those of you who aren't aware, and I'm sure you won't be surprised if you have a logical thinking brain, about 90% of my viewers are men. I only have about 10% women. I wish that I could have a higher percentage of women, but the fact of the matter is that there just aren't as many women interested in listening to baseball live play-by-plays. It's not me, it's not the channel, it's not the team. It's just gender, First pitch from Fromber is 94-mile-per-hour sinker on the inside, strike 1. Kyle Farmer at the plate, batting .225 with a 629 OPS. Woof! Big hitter. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Little tapper to Pena. He scoops it up and lobs it over to first base for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out. Orlando Arcia comes to the plate in just a moment. I think this is our first time seeing him this series. But thank you so much, Samuel, for liking the live play-by-play. I really do appreciate it, or loving it. I'm glad to have everyone here, especially those who are really passionate about the community that we have. First pitch right in there, 95-mile-per-hour sinker right down the middle. Strike 1. Arcia batting 198 for the season, but he's having a much better month than usual. In the dirt, 1-1. Fox the Best says, "Come on, Astros, time for more runs." Yeah, we need some. What's up with you, Mr. Hernandez? Good to see you. Where's Altuve? He's taking a break. He's in the dugout, but he's taking a break. Outside, 2-1. The curveball missing. Ken says, "When my wife knew and could explain the infield fly rule, I proposed." Oh, but she's your ex-wife now. So in the beginning, it seemed like she was perfect. Maybe it's because she didn't know the difference between stranded runners, stranded left on base, and cumulative left on base. Maybe that's why it didn't work out between you guys. But I'm sorry to hear that. I have an ex-wife too. I've only been married once. That was a long time ago, 2007. She took my daughter and took off. Fouled at the plate. The count remains 2-2 to Arcia. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the third. I love these micro conversations that we have during the live play-by-play. It's pretty interesting. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes a pitch from Fromber. That one floats outside on the changeup, and a full count we have. Yeah, I think we'll definitely get more runs, Hernandez. We'll be all good. Today we got a run without a blast, and that bodes well. Foxbat says, "That's right. My daughter was delighted only with the images of Hello Kitty in her Los Astros uniform." I can imagine. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Nice in there, but it's hit out in center field. Good. All right. Jacob Melton rushes over and makes the catch. Nice soft liner. It hung up there long enough. Curveball looked pretty good on the outside edge. Arcia was able to get his bat out there and get it on there. But it hung up just long enough for Melton to get to it, and that's out number 2. 8 up and 8 down for Fromber. Tyler Freeman back to the plate. Here's the toss. Well, I said 8 up and 8 down. Fromber does have a walk. So technically there have been 9 batters. So there's that. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Oh, grounded up the middle. Pena's able to get it. There we go. That ground ball went right past Fromber's glove, but it didn't matter. Pena was able to get to it and throw him out at first base. 3 up and 3 down again. Nice third inning for Fromber. We go to the bottom of the third. Astros up 1-0 with 2 hits. Fromber got a no-hitter going so far with 1 walk. Jeremy Pena is due up, followed by Yordan Alvarez and Carlos Correa. Samuel says, "Have you heard My Heart Bleeds Orange and Blue?" I had a feeling. Thank you so much, sir, for that super chat. I absolutely have heard that and know it. Go STROS, baby. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hernandez just chilling. Great day. Sounds good. That's nice. It was too hot here yesterday. I wasn't feeling well, so after the game, I went straight to the city and spent the whole day in the air conditioner from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon all the way until after 9 o'clock at night. I ate. I had some coffee. I wrote on my book. I actually made a video that I posted yesterday, a short video for the Geaux STROS channel. I made a community post. Finished writing on my novel. Had dinner. Came back home. Got some good sleep. Can't complain. That's a big improvement because a couple of days ago I was starting to think that I might have to go to the emergency room, but I never quite got to that threshold of thinking that I needed to go, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that I didn't. Here's the pitch. Payne hits the first one out into right field. It should be an easy fly ball. Freeman is underneath it and grabs it for out number 1. Don't worry about it, Hernandez. I mean, it was a long time ago. And I don't hear from my family at all. I haven't talked to anybody in my family for more than 2 years. My daughter, my brother, my sister, my dad. My mom died many years ago. Yordan Alvarez at the plate. It's interesting that the only person in my family that would try to reach out and talk to me and be close to me would be my mom, and she's not here anymore. Isn't that kind of sad? My mom was far from a perfect woman. She had her issues, and we didn't always see eye to eye. But at least she wanted to stay in contact. You know what I'm saying? This is hit hard into center field. It's going to be contained at the warning track. Woo! Yordan threatens with a hard hit ball to left center field. Very close to the wall. Still no hit yet for the big man, but he's chomping at the bit. That's 2 up and 2 down. Carlos Correa comes to the plate. Angel says, all my exes live in Texas. My only ex lives close to Texas. She's in Louisiana as far as I know. Unless she's moved somewhere, but I don't see her being that adventurous. Here's the next pitch. The first pitch to Correa, fouled off, 92-mile-per-hour cutter. 0-1 to South Correa. Melton would run his head through a block wall to catch a fly ball, probably. Fouled off to the left side on the curveball, 0-2. But Taylor Trammell would just jump up in the air and land on his back, or he would run into the wall and destroy his body. Up and in, 99, almost hit him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside, 99-mile-per-hour pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes evens it up. Hernandez wants to know if Altuve took the day off. I can only speculate about that. I don't know why they put Alvarez in the number 2 spot. That's a big change from yesterday. He was number 4. Altuve needed a break for sure. Here's the pitch. 90 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone, strike 3. So Correa goes down looking. That's another strikeout for Correa. 2 today. How many strikeouts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 strikeouts now for Dollander. That's only 2 shy of how many strikeouts the Rockies got against the Astros in the entire game yesterday. And he's done it in 3 innings. That's crazy. Top of the 4th coming up with Framber Valdez back on the mound in just a moment. No, Hernandez, I don't stay in Houston. I'm in Hiroshima. If you're wondering why I use all of the anime style stuff on my channel. For example, you see the commercials I'm looking at right now? During the commercial break, they show a lot of Japanese commercials. Even well, that one right there is an American commercial. They mix it up between American commercials and Japanese commercials because I'm in Hiroshima, Japan. I've been living in Japan for more than 5 years, and I lived in China for almost 7 years. I haven't been living in the U.S. for nearly 13 years. I decided after my divorce and just being so distant from my family, even though I was living there, my daughter began to disrespect me and just treat me like garbage. And I thought, what am I doing here? Why am I staying here? I didn't know where else I wanted to go. I couldn't think of anywhere at the time that I wanted to go in America. And I thought, you know what? As far as I know, you only live this particular life one time, and I don't want to waste it being somewhere where I'm unhappy, surrounded by people that don't love me. I want to try to go somewhere else. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Japan. But I couldn't just go to Japan. You can't just go to Japan. You can go there. You can come to Japan, and as an American, you can be a tourist for up to 90 days without a visa. That's pretty cool. But to just move here and live here, you can't do that. You need to have some type of special visa. So I took an opportunity to work in China first. Ball one low to Brenton Doyle, who's at the plate for the Rockies. Here comes the next toss from Fromber. That's a changeup hit out in right field. That's going to be the first hit of the game. Single. Cam can't get in on it. Base runner, leadoff base runner here in the top of the fourth. Brenton Doyle with a single to right field. One runner on, no outs. Hunter Goodman comes to the plate. But anyway, after working in China and traveling to Japan a lot over the period of almost 7 years, I finally moved here right before the pandemic started. First pitch is fouled off with a check swing, strike one. Endured the pandemic in Tokyo for about a year. Then I moved to Hiroshima, and I've been here ever since. What made you live down there? Oh, yeah, I think I just answered it. 78 on the outside edge. Given, he wasn't sure about that one. Hunter says, that wasn't good, man. Hunter Goodman, get it? I don't get it. 0-2 is the count. He takes a little time out. Fromber's able to walk off the mound, grab the rosin bag, get his locks in order. Everybody looks ready to go. Here comes the 0-2 throw. Nice on the curveball. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts on the curve. Well, not straight strikeouts, but all three of his strikeouts have been on the curve. Curveball looking nice for Fromber today, and that is wonderful to see. Good Fromber plus good curveball equals happy, happy times. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Next batter is Jordan Beck, just below the zone for ball one. Yeah, Slamu, you can definitely move to Philippines for a little while. I would just say be careful. You got to be a lot more careful there than you do in Japan. Up and in. Ball two. A lot of scammers there. If you're not used to it, you need to do a little bit of research before you go. There's several other countries like that you need to be aware of. Even China, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia even. Fromber steps off the mound. Little disengagement action. India, all of those countries, you got to be careful before you go learn a little bit about what they do to some of the tourists there so you can protect yourself. 88 miles an hour. At the bottom of the zone, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike to Beck. The count to Beck is 2 turntables and a microphone. I'm sorry, 2 balls and 1 strike. The runner is going. Here's a throw from Salazar. It's way too late. He bounces it there. That is a stolen base for Doyle. on second with 1 out. 3 balls and 1 strike to Beck. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge. Nice curveball. Strike 2. Full count. He's like, really? Is that was your strike? That was your strike? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about... Go back and look at it, you fool. 50 pitches coming up for Valdez with the next one. We've got the full count going on. Fox Bass says, I went for a coffee and the 3 outs have already fallen. That's what happens. Foul tip strike called by Salazar, and that's another strikeout. Another curveball strikeout for Fromber. 4 strikeouts now. Boom. Out number 2. Runner on second. Warman Bernabel comes back to the plate. Just can't get over that. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Salazar looks like a little guy. A little scrapper. Salazar is a scrapper. He's shorter than the umpire. Not that umpires have to be short, but it usually just looks funny to me when the catcher is a little guy like that. How tall is he? I'm going to have to look that up. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Hit out to right field. Cam is underneath it and puts it away. Out number 3. Bernabel. You're not warming hitting the ball like that. Out number 3. So a single, a leadoff single for the Rockies, but after that, it becomes rocky for the rest of their batters. Fromber retires the next 3. 1 hit, no runs. Top of the 4th inning is done. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Jesus Sanchez due up, followed by Christian Walker and Cam Smith. Fox at Bat says the Rockies have runner on first. Yep. Didn't work out for him, did it? He gone. That's funny. Travis says, I love Texas, but I'd prefer to live in West Texas. If I could have my way, though, I'd live in rural Arizona. It's so beautiful. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of picky because I need a combination of things. I need access to the city life, but I don't want to be in the city all the time. But also don't want to be in the countryside all the time. And I don't want 6 months of summer. That's why I hated living in Louisiana. 6 months of swampy, humid summer with high temperatures and terrible, disgusting, miserable weather for 6 months in Louisiana, basically. With disappointing Christmases and winters and stuff like that. Just, I didn't want to live in a place like that anymore. Where I live right now is kind of a balance between those. July and August are the only months that are really hot. And even though I'm in an old house, I have to battle the winter. I don't mind that so much. I feel like that's much more in my control. If I go outside, I can put on more clothes, right? But in the summertime, if I go outside with just underwear on, first of all, I can't go into the city wearing just underwear, but even if I could, well, I could, I guess. But even if I could do that, you know what would happen? I'd still be sweating my butt off and it would feel terrible, right? But it's not so bad around here like it is, or, was for me, and it is in Louisiana. Houston's also pretty miserable during the hot months. Hot, humid, muggy. I'm not into all of that. I can't take it very well, especially with my body condition, the blood clots and all of those risks. Like I said, the heat wave that we've had over the past few days has really gotten to me health-wise, so I can't handle that. Got to be somewhere a little cooler. 1-1 is the count to Sanchez. Little inside, did he go? They say he did. 1-2. Angel, where in Japan, where all did you visit? Here comes the 1-2 pitch. 99 in the top of the zone, fouled off. Sanchez looking serious right now. Look at that look on his face. He's not smiling. He's like focused. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Dollander. This is hit up the middle. Base hit. Left center field line drive. Back to back Sanchez hits. That's what happens when he starts looking serious. There we go. 10 for 16 in the last 5 games. Sanchez is heating up, baby. Look at that. All right. Leadoff hit for the STROS. Sanchez on base for Walker. Bottom of the 4th. Here's the next toss. First pitch to Walker is high, 99 miles an hour, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Well, he shatters the bat and he flies out to the pitcher. Sanchez is off the base. So they will double him off on first base. Wow, that bat was destroyed. Part of the bat went flying into the Rockies dugout. Look at this. This bat just explodes. Sanchez is thrown at first base. He was off the bag. There was nothing he could do there. Cam Smith at the plate. The first pitch is low for ball 1. So we have 2 outs now. Nobody on base. Just unlucky. Unlucky. But Cam is up. Time to crank it up. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard to left field, but it's gonna die and be contained. Called by the left fielder, and that's it. 3 up and 3 down. Nice line drive hit by Sanchez. So that's the 3rd hit for the Astros. But unfortunately, with that shattered bat, soft liner back to the pitcher, that doubled off Sanchez. Cam Smith flies out to left field. Cam Smith has not watched a strike go by yet in these 2 at-bats. And he has not missed a pitch. He's fouled off everything or hit everything. Already getting on it. We'll see how the rest of the game goes. But as for now, that's 4 innings up and down. The Astros winning 1-0 so far. Abel says, yeah, well, this community channel can be your new adopted family. Well, right now it really is. It really is. And in the beginning, I had no idea what it was going to be like. To be honest, when I started doing the live play-by-play, I had, number one, no idea where it was going to go. I was only kind of doing it half-heartedly. Where is my... Oh my goodness. I need to go heat up my coffee. Hang on just a second. There we go. Coffee break song. I'll be right back.
I gotta hurry 'cause I don't have long. It's a coffee break song. This is my coffee break song. It's a song meant for coffee breaks. It matters how long it takes. 'Cause if I miss a pitch, my viewers just might ditch. Get water from the well, put it on to boil, and now prepare a new filter. Scoop in some fresh grounds as I take a quick whiff.
All right. I came back just in time to see a swing and a miss. And that is actually strike 2 on Ezekiel Tovar. The count is 0-2. I missed the first pitch by Fromber.
That's tough hitting right there.
Whoops. There we go. That's better. Meant to turn that off. 0-2 pitch. Grounded to third. Correa bounces it over to first to get the out. 1 down. Yeah, I've got my coffee and my filter right here to make a fresh cup of coffee, and I realized, wait a second, my hot water, it's sitting there next to me cooling off. So I had to take it in there to boil it again. My cup of coffee misto coffee is gone from Starbucks, so it's time to make a fresh cup of my own. Here comes the pitch. Strike. Sinker right in there, 96 miles an hour to Kyle Carros. 1 down, nobody on. Marine Corps vet in Okinawa for a couple of years. That's cool. Ground ball to DeBon. It's second base. Fires over to first. 2 up and 2 down. Another Kyle coming up to the plate. This is a Kyle Farmer. Maybe that's why there's a Kyle Carros on the team, because they had the Kyle Farmer first. Womp womp. High and outside. Ball 1. 1-0 with 2 outs. Nobody on. Who's the Rockies' best player? Brendan, I really have no idea. I'd have to look, because I don't really know anything about the Rockies other than what I'm seeing on the screen. 2 tours in Korea. Got Okinawa guys. Every once in a while, I'll meet somebody that was stationed in Iwakuni, which is right here by Hiroshima. 1 ball, 1 strike from Fromber. Here's the pitch. That's hit hard into left field. Sanchez is going to have to play it on a hop. And that's a second single given up by Fromber. This one a 2-out single. So Kyle Farmer is on first. Orlando Arcia comes to the plate with 2 outs. Little Chabara, or is it Chupacabra? Bachacha? Yeah. Yeah, he's not a big guy. Here's pitch. The shortest guy in MLB, that is Altuve. 1 ball, no strikes to Arcia. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off the bottom of the zone. On the stinker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, that's right. That swampy feeling is definitely in Houston too. It sucks. Yeah, definitely I can take the heat better in Arizona because of the humidity difference. When I was in Shreveport, a lot of people moved because of a factory closing in Arizona. They moved to Shreveport because it was opened in Shreveport, and they were given the option of moving there with their families and working there, or staying in Arizona and getting a different job. And many of the families that moved there spent 1 summer there and then moved back to Arizona, and that's not a joke. They said that's a swing, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Arcia. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. Casey says Sanchez's swing looks like Caratini when he's batting lefty. Yeah, he does have kind of that hack. Jesus saves for real and in baseball. That's true. Ground ball to Pena. He goes to second base to get the out with Dubon. And that's it for this inning. Sarcastic Prodigy. Look at that. Welcome back in. Good to see you, sir. Dropping me the Ninja Super Chats. I'm gonna drop some Japanese on you, since you dropped me the ninjas. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much, sir, for that super chat. That is much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. I'm always happy to get The super chats and the donations, they are a big help. They really are. But it means a lot more coming from my members. My members are already supporting the channel, and they consistently... I'm pretty sure that my members are also my biggest supporters. They donate the most. I think that's amazing that you guys have chosen to not only support the channel, but also be members at the same time. To do both of those is amazing. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. Sarcastic Prodigy, really do. Let's see here. What else am I missing? Anything? Walker's a bum. Well, Ira, you're talking about a guy who hit 3 home runs in 3 straight games against the Orioles. I wouldn't really call that guy a bum. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As long as he's consistently giving us some thump, I don't care about the strikeouts. Yeah, Travis, that's a nice thing. You can live rural and still be 20 minutes from a major city. That's nice. I'm not 20 minutes from a major city. I can get to a nearby town. Well, the town that I live in, the main center is about 8 minutes down the road by car. Doobie takes that first pitch for strike 1. Dollander on the mound with 57 pitches. Here's the next one. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Doobie. Doobie has a double today. 1 for 1. But the closest city is Geaux, and Geaux is 45 minutes from here. 40 minutes maybe driving. Here's the next pitch. 98 miles an hour right in there on the outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hiroshima City is about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how you go. And that's driving. And Dubon swings wildly at a pitch way outside and strikes out. Curveball way outside, and he went after it. 1 away, nobody on. Jacob Melton comes to the plate. And yeah, we definitely need more runs, Paul. You're right. Here comes the pitch. Melton takes that first pitch way inside. 99 miles per hour. Ball 1. Yeah, I'm with Casey on that. He's definitely not a bum. Especially recently. He's been really good recently. Here's a pitch. 98 outside. Foul tip miss. Caught by the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the toss. Angel says, I'll take the swampy weather rather than the Minneapolis cold. Well, you're talking about 2 completely different seasons. So I think the solution there is to spend the summer in Minneapolis and the winter in the South. Swap them. Those are the worst times to be in those places, right? Here comes the next pitch. 100 miles an hour below the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Melton. Hey, Texas Dave. Greetings from Hiroshima town. Here comes the pitch. Woo, almost got him on the inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Melton. Mark Bryan, hello. Good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, my sleep was pretty good last night. Extra cheerful and playful. Love the positive vibe broadcast. I don't comment much because I watch you broadcast on my TV. I appreciate that. Yeah, I recognize your name. I know you. I know you're a creeper. You're creeping my channel. There we go. There's a walk. Low and outside. I'm joking about the creeping. I'm just messing with you. Melton walks on the full count. Goes to first base. We have ourselves a base runner with 1 out. And Cesar Salazar comes to the plate. But yeah, I said earlier there's been a heat wave here, and it really has affected me, causing some pains and issues in my body. And I was thinking I might have to go to the hospital or something, but improved a little bit today. Little throw over to first base to keep Melton honest. But yesterday I spent literally the whole day after the game in the air conditioning in the city instead of out here at the house dealing with the heat. And it really helped me out a lot. Had a nice lunch and a nice dinner, wrote on my novel, just relaxed. So yeah, and then I had a good sleep, so it was nice. Melton is trying to steal. Is he in there? They say he is. Wow, barely gets in there. Nice steal by Melton. Woof. Look how close this was. Boom. Next batter, or rather the next pitch to Cesar Salazar is below the zone. 69 pitches now for Dollander. 2-1 is the count to Salazar. Salazar had a little tapper to first base his last at bat. Let's see if he can come up with something here to move Melton around. Not on that pitch. 98 outside. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He takes a timeout. But thank you for watching, Mark. I really appreciate it. Ken lives about 20 minutes outside of Llano, which is Arellano, Texas. Closest bigger city is Marble Falls, 45 minutes away. Lake Buchanan. That kind of sounds like me. The closest big city is for me is more than an hour. It's Hiroshima City. I mean, Saijo is a nice city. It's the closest civilization city, I guess you could say. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Here comes the full count pitch. Way outside. Salazar with the walk. How about that? So the 8th and 9th hitters get on base. And now Jeremy Pena is at the plate with 1 out. Goodman and Dollander will take a little timeout. I'm going to go get my hot water. I'll be right back while they have the meeting on the mound to discuss their imminent loss. The pitching coach joined them out on the mound, and now the umpire is checking out their conversation. You know, you took a little too long there. I could have been charged. Okay, we're done. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this to all of you, but I now have a few items on a T-shirt and goods store. So I have some shirts and mugs and stickers that you can buy through the, I think it's the Spring T-shirt shop. One says, "I love South Korea." It's pretty funny. You have to take a look at it. I designed the flag. Pena grounds this one to short. Looks like it's going to be a double play on the very first pitch. Did he come off the bag? No, they say they got him. So look at that. Pena comes to the plate with 1 out. They have a meeting on the mound. He's got 2 runners on. And he immediately grounds into a double play. Are you kidding me? And there we go again with the left on base. Bottom of the 5th is ended. It's like, all right, we got 2 guys on, 1 out. Pena's at the plate. Here we go. Double play. Inning over. Couldn't be more anticlimactic than that. Well, maybe it could, but let's see here. Yeah, how many people are watching right now? 142. Let me reload that and see how many likes we have. 53. Oh, that's terrible. You guys and gals, what are you doing out there? 143 people watching, only 53 likes. please like the live stream. Come on now. Even if you're not an Astros fan, if you're listening because you're a Rockies fan and you don't have anybody else to listen to on YouTube, you can still like the live stream. Even if you're not a subscriber, not a member, doesn't matter. Like the live stream, show a little appreciation for what's going on here. Just a little bit, just a little thumbs up. You see that little thumbs up? Little thumbs up at the bottom, right below the video. Just click it. It should be at 75% of the viewers, and right now it's less than 50%. It's like 35%. That's terrible. That makes me sad. It reminds me of the line in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You make me sad. Come on, like it. I would say love it, but there's no love button. It's just a like button. Framber Valdez, back on the mound. Why can't we give these pitchers more runs? It's not fair, right? Here comes the toss. Tyler Freeman tries to bunt and he completely misses the curveball. 0-1. That was funny. Quite humorous. Yeah, you're right. Tomorrow's going to be an early start. Or a late start, rather. Misses inside. Depending on how I feel tonight, I might stay up to do the game and then just sleep late tomorrow. It depends on how I feel. If I get a little sleepy earlier, I'll sleep. Or if I can take a nap, I'll do that. But it just depends. Low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Freeman. Nobody out. Top of the 6th. Wick wants to know, do you ever stream the full game on a different platform and think you get more views? Of course not. Why would I do that? Ground ball in the hole. There's another single. That's the 3rd for the Rockies and a leadoff base runner here in the top of the 6th. Brenton Doyle comes to the plate. Thank you, by the way, Mark, for encouraging people to like the live stream. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 1 to Doyle. Too far inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Doyle. Ira, I see what you're saying. You said something about, I feel like he shrinks. I'm not sure. Could you tell me what you're talking about there? I'm not sure if you're talking to me or what you're talking about. Misses a little bit on the inside. 3 balls and no strikes to Brenton Doyle. He's not swinging right now. Here's the pitch. Finally a strike on the 3-1. Or to make it 3-1 rather. 95-mile-per-hour sinker right in there. Yeah, the bottom of the lineup is doing something, but we're not getting anything from the top of the lineup right now. It's out of balance, isn't it? Ground ball to short might be a double play. Pena to Doobie. Doobie to Walker. And that's a double. A Doobie double play. Pena Doobie double play. A Pena Doobie double play. All right, we have 2 outs now. Nobody on the base pads. Hunter Goodman due up. Shoot says nothing like getting hammered and listening to Ghost. I should start messing with my drinking audience by talking strangely. Welcome back to today's cricket match between India and Scotland. Yeah, wait a second. What am I listening to? Fouled off. Hunter Goodman at the plate over 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. No balls, one strike to Mr. Goodman. Here comes the next pitch. Woo, a little below the zone, but called a strike. You'll have to apologize while I pour my next cup of coffee. Goodman is the catcher, and he's arguing with the umpire. The umpire is saying, let's get it going. 0-2 is the count with 2 outs, nobody on. Come on, strike him out. Yes, he does it. Curveball, swing and a miss, and he hits the ground with his bat. And he's still yelling at the umpire. He's gone. He just got tossed. The Rockies catcher just got tossed. The umpire's like, you know what? I'm done, man. I'm done with that. Coach immediately comes out and says, what the heck is going on? He's still ticked. Ya big baby. Jack. You know what I want to say. You know what I want to say. I won't say it because of the kids. I won't say it because of the kids. It's for the kids, you know. I won't say it because of the kids. Patrick says, how you doing, big man? I hope you're as well as always. Can you just take a few bitches? Come on. Yes, that's right. I'm doing okay, Patrick. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm doing much better today. Like I said, my day off yesterday, I spent the whole afternoon in the air conditioning. It really helped me out. It's just been too hot here, and it's affected my body. Angel says the day that Fromber is pitching good, we're kind of slow on offense. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. That's exactly what I was saying a moment ago. Can we please give this guy some run support? I mean, Fromber, he has a breakdown, and we just have to deal with that. But when he pitches 6 innings without giving up anything, 3 hits and no runs, and we only have 1 run on the board in the first inning, I mean, come on, that's unacceptable. We've got to do something. We got to do something. Robert says, sorry, Go. I've been watching since the start and just pushed the like button. It's okay. That's the thing. I got to remind people. It's on me for not reminding people, but I just assume it will be done. But one of my subscribers, one of you lovely people, always mentions it. You start saying, come on, people, get the likes up. And whenever you say that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to remind everybody to click the like button. I keep forgetting to do that. That's on me, but thank you for reminding me. Angel says, ask and you should receive. That's true. Can we get a vintage Valdez double play? Yes, we did. We got it. You called it. Bubba, thank you so much. Says, hope you get to feeling better, bruv. Thank you. I am, I wouldn't say I'm 100% by any means, but I am so much better today than yesterday. The big man is at the plate, leading it off for the Astros. He'll be followed by South Korea and Jesus Sanchez. Air Jordan, baby. We're waiting for you to show us something special. Where's your first hit? New catcher in the game. First pitch inside, 98 miles an hour, ball 1. 73 pitches now for Dolander. Here's the next pitch to Alvarez. 79, curveball, too far inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Try to keep my hot water hot by putting it in the thermos there. Here's the next pitch from Dolander. 99 at the very bottom of the zone. Strike 1. 2-1. Well, I'll take any win, Brendan, but I'd like to see them score more runs. This is the Rockies, you know. Way up inside, 99 miles an hour. Kind of brushed him back. 3 balls and 1 strike. I appreciate you saying that, Travis. Travis says anyone watching should subscribe to the channel and like the live stream. That's too far inside. Another walk. A 5-pitch walk to Jordan, and he's going to be on first base with no outs to lead off this inning. Carlos Correa comes to the plate. Travis says, if you live in the Houston area, you know how expensive and difficult it can be to watch a game, not just listen on AM. Thank you for pointing that out. Very important. Nobody was doing live play-by-play on YouTube for the Astros in English. And the only lady that's doing it in Spanish is not a dedicated channel. That channel does various games. This is the only dedicated Houston Astros live play-by-play that exists. The only one. Just me. 0-1 is the count to Correa. 80th pitch coming up right now. 89 up and in, swinging a miss. 0-2 is the count. Goodman is their best player, Sarcastic says. It seems like it. But he's also apparently their most spoiled player. Here comes the 0-2. Ooh, just a little inside. Takes that one on the curve. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Ken. Wah, 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 wah. Hey, Alan. Good to see you. Did the Whittle catch a man get tossed? That's right. Exactly. Here comes the 1-2. 97 fouled off by Correa to the opposite field side. Well, yeah, it does feel like he doesn't get good run support. On one hand, I can understand when he gets frustrated, but on the other hand, he should support his team, you know. You don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to be that guy on the team that's kind of set apart from everybody else, blaming everyone else. You don't want to have that negativity on the team. The count remains 1-2 on that foul ball. Paul. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, 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 goodbye. Wow, that was a ripper. A ripper. But foul. Count remains 1-2. Jordan camping out on first base with no outs. 1-2 is the count to Mr. South Korea. Whoops, I forgot to turn my typing back to English. There we go. It was on Japanese. Here's the pitch. Correa fouls this one off, and it goes into the crowd. The count remains 1-2. Correa has fouled off about 1,000 pitches. Hernandez says, like a slap in the face. Hey, Intense Blue Devil, welcome back. Yeah, we need a lot more than 1 run for insurance. This one's hit high in the air over on the left side. Third baseman puts it away. Correa fouls out. Jordan hangs out on first. Robert says, yeah, that was me. That's why I was kicking myself. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, cry, cry. Sarcastic wants to know if I like sushi. Yeah, I do like sushi, but I don't like all sushi. Some sushi is definitely not for me, especially the one with tentacles. But salmon sushi, egg sushi, and tuna, these are my favorites. Sanchez almost got hit with the ball in the dirt. Huge cup of coffee. Oh my gosh, it's good. Oh, it's good. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Today, I should be setting up my giveaway. My 1,000 subscriber thank you giveaway. So look forward to that, guys and gals. Sanchez hits it to second. It might be a double play. Now he's safe at first base, so fielder's choice. Sanchez happy to be safe, but upset about grounding into the fielder's choice. You can see him right here. He's like, yeah, I'm safe. And then after, well, they didn't show it. He kind of yelled at himself. So he hustled down to first base, and he was safe. And then he kind of yelled at himself for hitting the ball on the ground. That's 2 outs. Christian Walker, is he going to provide the thump? 91 miles an hour below the zone. Ball 1. 2 outs. Sanchez on first. Here in the bottom of the sixth, the Astros are up 1-0. 3 hits for both teams, no errors. Dollander up to 89 pitches. Here comes the 90th. Ooh, why did you go after that one? 98-mile-per-hour sinker, too far inside, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, Caesar, welcome back in. Hello to you. Caesar, Caesar. Oh, you're talking to Caesar Brendan. Okay, I see. Here comes a pitch. Fouled off. Ken says, MLB TV is too rich for my blood. There's a guy that shows a really good condensed game afterwards, though. Yeah, there's one. I can't remember the name of the channel, but there are a couple of guys. Do you guys know Wheels? There's a YouTube channel called Wheels, and he does excellent, quick, excellent, condensed highlight of the games. Better than the MLB highlights. I like his highlights. But then again, I rarely watch highlights because I do the live streams. You know what I'm saying? I considered doing some of the highlights before in game recaps, and I tried to do that early on, but I realized it was really kind of a waste of time, and it took way too much of my time to do. 98 miles an hour, fouled back by Walker. The count remains 2-2. Sanchez was off and running on that one. He goes back. How much does MLB TV cost, Ken, by the way? Because I have a feeling that it's actually cheaper here in Japan. It just became available a couple of years ago, and that's why I'm able to do this. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off. It was like pulling teeth trying to figure out how to get Astros games here in Japan. But when they offered it on MLB TV, boom, I jumped all over it. And the cost is unbelievably low. Unbelievably low for the whole season. You just pay a yearly fee. Low and outside. Full count. Yeah, it's not even a season package. It's actually a 1 full year package. It's great. But I only buy the Astros exclusively so that I can watch every single Astros game. The only Astros game that I can't watch is the ones that are on Apple TV. So a few times a season I have to activate my Apple subscription just to watch those silly games. Here's the 3-2. A 98 miles an hour popped up. Is it going to be caught? Barely runs out of room there. We got lucky. Can't tell if he missed it or if it came off the net. Take a look at this. Didn't hit the net, he just missed it. He took his eye off of it, though. It's kind of crazy. Another full count pitch to Walker. 96 pitches now for Dollander. Here comes the 97th. Fouls that one back. Man, he might get to 100 pitches against Walker. Walker keeps fouling him off. You know, it'd be really cool. He gets him up to 100 pitches, and on that 100th pitch, Walker goes to the Crawford boxes. That'd be really awesome. How about that? Let's add a little thump right here. Add some salt, add some pepper, add some thump. Cook until light brown. No, there's the strikeout. We get the strikeout instead of the thump. 99 miles an hour in the top of the zone, swing and a miss. So we're pretty much going to get one of those two things from Walker. We'll either get a nice thump hit or we'll get a strikeout. And right there, survey says, bling, K. That's the end of the 6th. 3 hits for each team. Jordan is stranded on first. 1-0, the Astros have a massive lead over the Colorado Rockies. Not surprising. I mean, the Rockies are a struggling team, a record worst year, and the Astros are destroying them 1-0 going into the top of the 7th. Let's see what. It's definitely more interesting in the chat. Let's see what's going on over there. Let me put my coffee lid on. Lean back here. prop up my foot. Get comfortable. Let's see. Yeah, Carlos has been battling, but he hasn't had any results yet. That's true. Mark says their new catcher is sporting a movie star mustache, if you know what I mean. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Maybe he decided to show Jacob Melton what a real adult baseball player looks like, and I know what you mean. We're talking about Walker. I was saying his hit or home runs are not that clutch. About half of his home runs are solo shots. Ira, if I'm not mistaken, Christian Walker leads the Astros in RBIs. So for a man who's not that clutch, you know, it's kind of an interesting POV. You can double check that if you want, but I believe that's accurate. I don't know how many of those RBIs are with runners in scoring position, but I would tend to think that there's a good portion of them since he's leading the team. Fromber's back on the mound facing Jordan Beck on the outside, but just a little too far outside. Ball 1. Beck is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. Here comes the next pitch. He fouls that one off. The slider inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, not too tech savvy. Robert's going to check the link. Check the link. There's a pitch. That was a strike. He shows bunt and pulls back, but that ball was on the outside edge, and he called it a ball. Fromber didn't look too happy about that. 2 balls and 1 strike to Beck. Here comes a pitch. Foul back. 2-2. The count's even. Happy camper. That's good. It's always nice when your team wins, right? The Lion says, I like Jordan in the 2-hole more than cleanup, the way he's walking. Well, I don't want him in the 2-hole. I want him in the 3 slot. Fouled off again. The curveball. He got a hold of it. Count remains 2-2. He's walking. Of course, he gets a lot of walks because they don't really pitch to him straight down the middle. You know, they try to pitch all around the zone or outside to be safe, and they wind up walking him a lot. That's just always going to be the case. But batting 4th, I think, is not good. Batting 3rd is perfect, I believe. If you let him bat 3rd, then 2 things happen. You give the opportunity to the first 2 batters to get on base. That, by the way, that pitch was a ball. Full count to Jordan Beck. No outs, nobody on here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Fromber. Outside, ball 4. Not even close on the curveball. 84 pitches now for Valdez. But I think that if you have 2 batters in front of Jordan in the first inning right off the bat, you have the opportunity to get them on early and let him come up and drive them in. But you also guarantee that he will be up to bat in the first inning. But if you have him bat 2nd, there's only 1 opportunity to get a runner on before he's up there, you know. Bernabel hits it out to center field, but Melton drifts back and takes it for out number 1. Runner stays at first base. Ezekiel Tovar comes to the plate with 1 out, runner on first. But anyway, like I said, though, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Travis says, I don't use cable. Haven't in years. Netflix, Amazon, Disney, free Roku channels. Foul tip, swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Tovar. Magnum PI warming up in the dugout, or rather in the warming up in the dugout. That would cause some chaos. Warming up in the bullpen. Here's the low one pitch. Low inside. Fromber came off the mound a little bit there. It looks like it affected his throw. 1-1 is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Most of the stuff I watch on YouTube is free. I don't pay. I do pay for premium, but there are a couple of reasons why. I mean, I'm constantly on YouTube, so I need to avoid all of those ads as best as possible. Swing and a miss. Nice curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tovar. Check this out. Starts up right in the zone, drops like crazy. Man, he missed that by like 4 or 5 inches. That's crazy. Tommy one outie outie. He does. Tommy Wanty. Here comes the 1-2. Whoa. Whoa, what happened there? That ball got away from Salazar. He's not able to handle it. I don't know what happened there. Something weird happened. Runner's able to go to second. Let's take a look. He stopped the ball. He didn't know where it was at. He's trying to find it. Okay, I see. That was strange. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. He catches that one. Full count. The ball came up and it got kind of stuck between his arm and his body. So when he stood up, he was trying to grab it, but it had already fallen down to the ground and he accidentally kicked it. He was keeping his eye on the runner instead of trying to get the ball. But it's all good. Runner on second with a full count to Tovar. Here's the toss. Right in there, fouled off. Count remains full. Yeah, you're right, Travis. Meant to say I don't pay for 500 channels when I only want to watch one once a day. That's why I pay for the Astros games exclusively. I don't pay for anything else. I do pay for YouTube Premium, but like I said, I have multiple reasons for doing that, especially creating content and putting it on YouTube. I don't have time to be waiting around and dealing with ads. I save an unbelievable amount of time by having the YouTube Premium. Full count to Tovar with 1 out. Runner on second. We're going to have another pitch. Fromber actually throws to Doobie behind the bag. That was funny. Fromber's laughing about it. It's like he's joking around. Just throw it to Doobie. He's laughing at the base runner. Pena scoops it up on that ground ball. It was almost through center field. That would have scored a run for sure. Tovar is thrown out at first base for the 2nd out. Runner is held up at third. What a good play. Right under the feet of the runner, and Pena was able to see it and grab it. Holy cow, what a good play. Pena just saved a run. Spun around and made the throw. 6 assists for outs for Mr. Flash tonight. Runner on third with 2 outs. Something going on here. Okay, I got it. Correa was making sure Fromber was going to do the right windup. 1-0 on the outside. Kyle Carros at the plate with 2 outs. Dish does suck, but actually I'm using Starlink for my internet here. I don't have any other choices. I'm so far out in the countryside. They don't have internet out here. Japan, they always say that Japan's an advanced country. They used to have DSL here, but in 2023 they stopped the DSL service out here. And I asked them, what are you going to replace it with? And they said, well, maybe one day we'll put the fiber optic. And I said, are you not putting it out there now? No, we have no plans to do that. Swing and a miss in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the curve. But to this day, they still don't have any internet out here. They got rid of the DSL I know it sounds crazy, but there's not even a dial-up internet option out here. So I had to get Starlink. I had no choice. But luckily, I got a deal from Costco. Costco had the Starlink package. I was able to buy it secondhand and get the coupon for 2 months of free service. So I got a discount on the equipment and then a discount on the first 2 months. So fouled off at the plate. Karros keeps the 1-2 count. Without my Starlink out here, I would have no internet. I would have to use my phone as a hotspot, my cellular connection, and that's only 4G, so not too many options out here. Yeah, Fromber just starting to get tired. This is probably going to be it for him. 96 on the outside edge. Fouls it off. Just need to get this last strike, and Fromber will put up 7 innings. Astros coach is watching intently. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Valdez up to 98 pitches. Karros at the plate with a 1-2 pitch. Come on, let's see that curveball strikeout. Here it comes. It is a curveball, but it's hit into left, right at Sanchez, who puts it away. There we go, baby. So Fromber drops a curveball in there with not too much motion on it, right in the middle of the zone. 7 shutout innings by Fromber Valdez. He throws a gem today for the Houston Astros. 99 pitches, 3 hits. How many walks did he have? Let me take a look. Take a look. 2 walks today. So Fromber gives up 3 hits, 2 walks. No hit by pitch. Strikes out 5. All with the curveball. No runs. Today was a gem of a game. Now we just need 2 things. We need good relief in the 8th and the 9th. And we need the Astros bats to add some insurance runs. Fromber has done everything he can do to win this game. But, you know, this is why this Fromber that we have today is the reason why I want to keep him. I just wish that he would gel a little bit more like he used to with the team. He's become a little, I don't want to say arrogant, but he has been a little too outspoken to throw his team under the bus. At first, people kind of praised him for calling out some stuff, but now it just seems like it's kind of gone to his head a little bit, and I hope that he can get rid of that and become more of a gelled part of the team. That's what I hope. Let's get caught up on these chats. Yep, you're right, Angels. Now it's up to the reliever and closer. I guess we have Brian King coming in the 8th. We'll see. Ira says you got to admit that you and I should expect Walker to lead the club in RBIs when he's the only top of the lineup player that has been healthy all year. I don't. I expect Altuve to be the leader in RBIs, so I don't agree with that. Altuve has been streaky, but I definitely think Altuve in this lineup, he's had plenty of time to play, and his ability, he should be leading in RBIs, not Walker. Cam Smith is at the plate. The first pitch is a ball in the dirt. 0-2 today with a ground out and a fly out. Here's the pitch below the zone. We have a new pitcher. Nick Anderson is in the game. Two and 0 to Cam. Crank it up, Cam. He hits it hard. He does it. He cranks it up and he goes in the Crawford boxes. What did I tell you? I told you. 8 home runs now for Cam Smith. He hasn't missed a single pitch this game. And he crushes that one just at the right angle to get out into the Crawford boxes. And the Astros are up 2-0. I told you. that Cam was on today. I could just see it. I could just feel it. Cam was feeling it. Absolutely. Right on, brother. A little bit of love from Walker in the dugout. Mauricio Dubon at the plate takes the first pitch low in the zone. Jordan's over there chatting with him. Love it. Doobie hits it pretty hard out to left field himself, but it's going to be a little short. Beck makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Dubon was trying to do another one. Look at that. 95 miles an hour right in the center of the zone. Cam Smith made him pay. Beautiful. Look at that. That's the swing, baby. He got the swing back. And that was on the end of the bat. That was not even on the sweet part of the bat. Jacob Melton at the plate. How about a right field homer? It's nice seeing the big smile on his face. A hug from the pitching coach, the batting coach. Swing and a miss by Melton. 1-1 is the count to Melton. Ira, facts don't get people in timeout in this chat, but rudeness does, so keep that in mind. Two balls and one strike. Here comes the pitch to Melton. Fouled off. 94 on the outside edge. 2-2 is the count. Ira, listen. You have your own opinion and I have mine, but I need to remind you, your opinion is not fact. Your opinion is just opinion, just like mine. So don't come into my chat. I'm the host of the channel. Don't be ridiculous. This is the sort of thing that does get people either in timeout, put in timeout, or banned from the channel. Don't try to stir up stuff in my chat with me or anyone else. Melton goes down on the full count pitch, swing and a miss, change up right in the zone. And that's that's out number 2. It's not good form to come into a YouTube channel and start haggling the one who's running the channel, presenting your opinions as facts and downplaying all of theirs as impossible. Cesar Salazar is at the plate. Strike 1. Here comes the next pitch from Anderson. Oh, foul tip, half swing there. Not a full power swing by Salazar. 0-2. He takes a little timeout. Absolutely, we needed that, Sam. Yeah, the Caminator cranked it up for sure. I was waiting for him to do it. Yeah, Travis, he's peaked already. Fromber has peaked. I agree with that. I'd like to keep him as he sails towards the sunset. At least as he goes over the horizon. Until the point where the cell disappears over the horizon. And then we can let him go. Here's the 1-2. Grounded to second base. Salazar is thrown out at first for the third out of the inning. But Cam doubles the lead with one swing. 2-0 Astros. 4 hits for the STROS, 3 for the Rockies. We go into the the top of the 8th. Astros on top, 2-0. All right. Nice. But I don't think it would... Yeah, you're right about that. Travis says it would be a financial failure to sign him for what he wants. That's good clarification, Travis. Good clarification. Some people have said, oh, it would be really bad to sign Fromber, or we must sign Fromber. But that's not accurate. What you just said is accurate. If we sign him for what he wants or what he thinks he's worth, then we can't do that. I think the Astros just cannot do that. And I don't believe that that they ever would do that. So we don't have to worry about spending that type of money. But if we could actually sign him for what he's worth, what he's really worth, or what he really deserves, then I think it'd be fine. But if he has to go, I'll be a little sad. But just like whenever Dubin left recently, and I made the post about Dubin leaving, sad, not sad. Sad on one hand, but on the other hand, not sad. You know? Yeah, Prodigy, I think so. Carlos Correa, yeah, I think he has been. And now that Jordan is there, too, I think he's got some tips. Maybe having these guys around will really help him out. Ken says Melton's a good defender, but he's just a placeholder for Jake. Yes, he is. He's the Jake Myers placeholder. He's just holding his spot. Myers will be back soon. Paul, if you argue with yourself about J.P. France's mustache again, then the ghost of Melton past, otherwise known as Blade Rogers, will come and haunt you. Ira, no, it wasn't just a discussion. Too aggressive. Don't attack other people's opinions while presenting your opinions as fact. This is bad form. It's just bad form. Magnum PI is on the mound. The first pitch on the way. A little low and inside. Looked like a kind of a curveball. I gotta change his portrait on the screen. Next pitch on the way. On the outside edge, fastball, strike one. Brian King, baby. Return to form, Magnum PI. 93 fastball on the outside edge, fouled off, strike two. 1-2 is the count. Now this guy has a stash to kill, right? You can't tell me that he doesn't look like Tom Selleck. I mean, come on. How could you not think that? That's my opinion. 94 above the zone. Did he swing? They say he did not. 2-2 is the count. Old dog, you're absolutely right. Just adding on to what I said earlier, or in any public forum. Hey, look at that. Strike three. Magnum PI picks up the strikeout. That ball went down in the dirt. He went after it, couldn't get it. A K right out of the gun of Magnum PI. Old dog says, or in any public forum, good behavior should be the norm. Go STROS. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely, I agree. You're right on. Here's the pitch. 93 in the lower outside part of the zone. Strike one. Fastball gets the corner. Orlando Arcia with a line out and a fielder's choice today. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. 1-1. Snooze fest, is that what that is? Snooze fest? Does that mean like a snooze fest? Here comes the pitch. 1-1. This is hit high in the air. Mauricio Dubon is back. He floats back in the grass, moves around, floats back and forth, puts it away. Out number 2. Tyler Freeman due up in just a moment to face Brian King. Blue Devil says you did a good job calling the Crawford box home run. Good job on you. Again, I'm still behind, but you did. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing on the screen, the way the batters appear to have made some adjustments and changed, the way they look, the way they present themselves at the plate. That's a hit. Freeman, Tyler Freeman on the very first pitch hits it right through the gap between Pena and Correa at third. Runner on first with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Brenton Doyle comes to the plate. He has a single today. 1 for 3 rather. Woo! The Swiffer right below the zone, called strike one. A little generous by the umpire, but we'll take it. Gives one back. 0-1 is the count. Here's a shot. Boom. 82 low and inside. 0-2. Angel says, in our current situation, we need him. After the season is over, the management will figure it out. You know, that's the thing. I mean, if Fromber, I know we're talking about Fromber. If Fromber, swing and a miss. Look at that. Magnum PI with the 94-mile-per-hour fastball just above the zone. This is classic PI right there. He's got the grin. Yeah, that's right. Classic PI right there. I'd love to see the return of Brian King. The second coming of Brian King. All right. But yeah, about Fromber. How he performs from now into the end of the season is very, very important for multiple reasons. The main reason is what he's able to do for his contract. You know, is he going to warrant the bigger bag with a stellar performance? Especially if the Astros go deep into the playoffs and even to the World Series. If they pull that off and Fromber does really well, if he's locked down, he's going to cement his bag. He's gonna make himself a really big bag for the end of this season, this free agency. And then he will know there's no way he will remain with the Astros, in my opinion. If he has a really great year all the way through the end of the year, I think there's no way that the Astros keep him. That's just my opinion. They won't be able to pay the money to keep Fromber, and it wouldn't be worth it. In my opinion, even if he is amazing and perfect throughout the rest of the season and we go to the World Series and win it, I still think that Fromber will cost too much money. If Fromber does moderately well, then there's a chance that the Astros can keep him. If he does terribly, then I think that the Astros probably won't mind letting him go, and he'll get better pay somewhere else. That's just my opinion for great Fromber, so-so Fromber, and bad Fromber. That's kind of the way I feel. I feel like the only chance we really have, or the best chance that we have to keep Fromber, is if he just does so-so, and we're able to afford his bag. You know what I'm saying? But once again, that's just my take. That's my POV. If you have a different perspective, I'd like to hear it. I think it's interesting to talk about. Well, it's kind of what the Astros usually do, Daryl, right? They offer a contract that they think is fair, and there's not a whole lot of negotiation. Usually. Travis says, everybody bunt for the next inning. Why not? Hey, why not? They wouldn't be expecting it. Jeremy Pena's leading it off for the Stros. He bounces this one to the center of the field, and the pitcher can't handle it. Look at that. Pena gets on base with a chopper right up the middle. A big bounce to the pitcher. Look at this. Look how big this bounce is. Boom. Way up in the air. And it doesn't bounce when it comes off the ground the second time. Look at this. The pitcher can't grab it quick enough. No throw. How about that? Infield hit for Jeremy Pena. And guess what? We got a guy on base for the big man. 2 walks today and a fly out to center field pretty deep. Is it time? Is it time? 96 below. Whoa! That was at least 3 inches below the zone and called a strike. The umpire giving Angel Chivilli, a little help on the mound. Next pitch is low. He calls that one a ball, fortunately. 1-1 against Jordan. What is this pitcher's name? What a name is that? There we go. Here's the next pitch. This is hit hard to center field. It might be gone. It might be gone. It's over the wall. It's a home run for Jordan Alvarez. Heck yes. 2-run shot right to center field. The center fielder tried to go up and get it on the wall, and he couldn't do it. Jordan Alvarez, the big man in his second game back. He bombs it to center field. The Astros are up 4-0. To direct center field, and he points out to the bullpen as soon as he comes around the bases. How about that? Jordan's first hit with the Astros, and it's a homer in his second game. 4 walks, One home run. Yeah. That's exactly what the Astros commentator said. Still Viper with a super chat. He's back. Swing and a miss by Carlos Correa. Nobody on base. No outs. Big hug there between Alvarez and Altuve. Oh. Correa fouls it off his foot. 0-2. How about that? How about that? Thank you so much for that awesome super chat, Steel Viper. He's back indeed. He's back indeed, just like the Terminator, baby. Thank you so much for that awesome $20 super chat. Boom, baby. Right down the middle. Jordan just started jogging. He didn't even try to run. This ball, look how close it was. The center fielder tried to get it. He jumped up there and tried to get it. He just couldn't reach it. It was close. Just barely over. Whew. Look at he's telling Jordan, thank the bullpen. He waits until he gets back and then he points out there. Correa's like, give some love to the bullpen. Give some love to the bullpen. He finally does. Fouled off the bat on the half swing. Count remains 0-2 to Correa. Nobody on, no outs. That is awesome. Yeah, some breathing room. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Correa hits it really hard. Is it gonna? No, it's gonna die. Right before it gets to the warning track, he hit it hard and then it just died. I thought Correa had one there for a moment. One down. Jesus Sanchez at the plate. Yeah, I think everybody knows that Fromber is going to be a free agent. I think everybody knows that, right? Sanchez having a pretty good game. He's got one fielder's choice, but two singles. First pitch is a ball. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Ooh, right in there. 89-mile-per-hour slider from Chivili. 1-1 is the count. De Los Santos and Brian Abreu warming up in the bullpen. 4-0 Astros winning this game. Fromber must be excited about this. 90 miles an hour, swing and a miss on the slider in the dirt. 1-2 is the count. Yeah, he tried. You know, the center fielder tried. Angel says they were saying 190 to 200 million for Fromber. That's out of the Astros budget, I would imagine. If we could trade him before the end of the year, but you know, they're not going to do that. Here comes the 1-2. High above the zone, 2-2. Yep, Sarcastic says, get back to where you once belonged. That's absolutely right. Come back home. Don't you want to go to your home? Sanchez goes down swinging on the 90-mile-per-hour slider. It was in the zone. Just couldn't get the bat on it. That's all good. 2 down. Christian Walker comes to the plate. Yep. I'll be back. I'll be back. Here's the pitch. 91 below the zone. 1-0 to Walker. 2 outs, nobody on. Come with me if you want to win. That's right. Show me the money. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Walker fouls it off on the third base side. 1-1 is the count. Let's go 44. It does feel good, doesn't it? And not only in his second game back, but his first hit. It was his first actual hit. The man has been walked 4 times already. His first actual hit, homer to center field. How about that? So nice to have Jordan back in the lineup. Swing and a miss for Walker. 1-2 is the count. Charlie, you'd give Fromber a 5-year deal? I guess for $200 million. Is that right? Yeah, Sanchez has a couple more years left of team control. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Let's see, what will Walker do? He hits this one pretty high out in left field. That's a bomb, but it floats into the stands. Man, that one had the right amount of power, but too much of a steep angle on it. And just a little too far to the left. By the way, did you hear about this? Eovaldi and Semien out, missing the rest of the season. How about that for the Rangers? That's unfortunate for them. Here's the pitch. Look at this little pitch. It's just knocked out into right field. Walker with a half swing. Kind of a half swing. A half swing. Kind of a check swing, and he hits it out into right field. Walker gets the lucky hit. Look at that. He's like check swing and puts it out into right field, so he's got himself a single. Runner on first. Cam Smith back at the plate. 98 on the inside edge. Just a little too far inside, but he called it a strike. 0-1. Cam with a home run, his last at bat. Come on, Cam. Keep swinging the bat, baby. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Good take. 1-1 is the count. Yeah, Sanchez is not a rental. He belongs to the Astros. Here's the pitch. Ooh, swing and a miss. 91 on the outside edge. The slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cam. Walker on first base here in the bottom of the 8th. The Astros already have 2 on the board thanks to Jordan Alvarez's two-run shot to center field. 7 hits for the STROS, 4 for the Rockies. Cam Smith at the plate with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt, bounces away. Walker goes back to first. My bad, Nightbot. Yeah, watch the caps. Darryl, you're right. That's one way to get a hit. Check swing opposite field. Jiminy Cricket, it's gone. Here comes a 2-2. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher, and he's got it. 99 miles an hour. That's a strikeout. That'll be out number 3. A quiet ending to the inning. But, man, what a great inning for the Astros and for Jordan Alvarez. And for the fans. Holy freaking cow. And, yes, it is breathing room. 7 hits for the Astros through 8 innings. 4 runs on the board. 0 for the Rockies. What a game. Fromber has almost a perfect game through 7 innings. Brian King puts up a good 8th inning. Cam Smith with a solo shot. Jordan with a 2-run blast to center field. And the Astros winning 4-0 going into the top of the 8th. We're 3 outs away from winning this game. It's either going to be Brian Abreu or Enya de los Santos on the mound for the Astros in the top of the 9th. Ken says, what's up with the ump? Got a date after the game? He might. You never know with these guys. Well, Jiminy Cricket, it's gone is funny, but it's definitely retro style. Okay, Brendan, I see Jersey. You said Jordan and Jordan going back and forth. I was like, I was a little confused. Trying to figure out what you meant there. But yeah, you meant Ohtani. Ohtani doesn't do very well against the Astros, though. Which is great. Absolutely, Charlie. I just knew that Cam would do good today. He's going to turn it around. He's turned it around today, starting today. All right. Abreu is on the mound for the Astros. He is going to close it out. 97 up and in for ball one. Here's the next pitch. This is hit into center field. Melton is there to catch it for out number one. 2 pitches, 1 out for Brian Abreu. I think a lot of people are in the chat are old school. Braxton Fulford. Is that right? No, that's Jordan Beck. Fulford was the last batter. He's the one who got the out. He was the replacement catcher that got thrown out of the game for griping at the ump. First pitch is in there for strike one. Next toss from Abreu. Woo! 97 right in the middle of the plate. Strike two. Is he going to get him right here with a slider? He takes a timeout. He wants to consider his options. I've got an Air Jordan shirt that I'm thinking about wearing tomorrow. Low and outside for ball one. 1-2 is the count. Vince Vaughn, except with the glasses, right? Here's the pitch. On the outside edge, low and away on the slider, but he's able to get a piece of it. Count remains 1-2. Ah, 22 is, yeah, 22 is not old. But there's a difference between old and old spirit, right? Here's the pitch, the 1-2. Woo! 98 on that outside edge. The umpire should have given us one back right there. That was close. Technically completely outside the zone, but hey, you know, he gave some to them. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Beck. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. 97 in the top of the zone. He couldn't get the bat on it. Strikeouts. Leading all relievers in strikeouts. That's our guy, Brian Abreu. 2 down, 1 to go. 2 down, 1 to go, baby. Man, I've been old-spirited since I was born. Swing and a miss. 98 miles an hour. To Warman Bernabel. Bernabel, you're not warming up at all, but Abreu sure is hot. Just look at that man. Look how hot he is. 99 miles an hour in the dirt outside. 1-1 is the count. 2 strikes away, 1 out. Look at that. Strikeout leaders for relievers. Abreu, 90. 5 ahead of the second place guy, Griffin Jacks. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes, baby. Oh, yeah. Charlie Sheen, swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Abreu. He is the number 1 strikeout guy. 6 ahead of the second place strikeout reliever in all of MLB. The Astros with the shutout. Framber Valdez, 7 masterful innings. Yordan Alvarez with a 2-run blast to put the icing on the cake. Cam Smith shakes off the rust to get a nice blast to left field. 1 little extra run added by Sanchez in the first inning. Great game today compared to yesterday especially. Lots of smiles on the Astros side. What a game. Absolutely, it was a good win. Ed, you and I are exactly the same. Same here. Yeah, I've got an old soul, but I've got a childlike spirit. Blue Devil. That's true. Everybody says that. It's interesting because some of the women here that I've talked to or dated, some of the more mature women, they they often find it surprising how not only my appearance versus my age, but the kind of spirit that I have, the kind of personality I have. It's interesting how they respond to that because they're expecting more, I guess, down to earth's seriousness and stuff like that. And I can be serious, and I'm very philosophical, but you know, I have a young heart, old soul, young heart, I guess you could say. It was a great game, Shake. You're right. Great win for sure, Raj. I wish I was there tonight, not last night, says Slamuel. Well, no, but you made good memories with your family, so that's good. It's okay. Definitely the Astros needed it. And Slamuel, no worries, don't worry about it. Got an early game tomorrow, that's for sure. It's possible that tonight, if I'm able to get a nap today, I don't know, we'll see. I might be able to take a nap today or go to bed a little bit early and get a little bit of a snooze because that game starts for me. Let's take a look. We need to do the preview for tomorrow, but also let's take a look at the game recap for today before we check out the scores around the league. The same thing we always do at the end of the game. Framber Valdez went 7 innings, had 99 pitches, 63 strikes, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Good 7 innings from Framber. Brian King came in, gave up 1 hit in 1 inning, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Good solid inning from King. His ERA is back under 3. Brian Abreu, awesome as always, 1 inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Leading the majors in all relievers with strikeouts. Solid pitching from the Astros today. What about the hitting? Astros hitting today was not what you would call stellar, but it was solid. It was solid to get the job done. And once again, Jordan being in the lineup helped the Astros. In the first inning, Sanchez singled to center field, which scored Alvarez. You can see it right here. But you know what? Here's what I was talking about. Alvarez was walked in the first inning. And then there was a wild pitch that sent him to second base. And then whenever Sanchez singled to center field, Jordan was able to score. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about. They pitched around Alvarez, which put him on base, and it led to a scoring opportunity. And this is the exact thing. If you have not seen my video recently that I posted, it's about 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, and it explains why not Framber. I'm looking at the screen up here. It explains why Jordan being back in the lineup is so important. It's not just his thump. It's not his hitting. It's not his home runs. It's not just that. Him being in the lineup, even if he's slumping, it causes the Astros to have more scoring opportunities. And the first inning is a good example of that. We got the first run because of that. 7th inning, Cam Smith cranked it out to left field 346 feet to get his home run, his 8th or 9th of the year. 2-0 Astros. In the 8th, Alvarez homered to center field, 421 feet, scoring Pena. 4-0, and that's where the game would end right there. 4-0 Astros. We move back to 1.5 games ahead of the Submariners, and we are now at 73 wins, I believe. Now, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's game. Let me move this over a little bit. We'll do a quick preview of tomorrow's game. Whoops. That's today's game. Let me reload this page. Oh, it's not. I have to click on the full schedule. It's not showing it on the screen. Let's go down, 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 down. Here we go. Okay, this game for me is at about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not 1 o'clock for me here. It's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning. So I will get to sleep a little bit this evening before I call the game. I'll go to sleep a little early, maybe around 9 or 10 at the latest, and I'll sleep for around 3 to 4 hours. After that, I'll get up around 2 o'clock and get ready for the game, which has a starting time of just past 3 a.m. for me. Jason Alexander going to be on the mound for the Astros facing Kyle Freeland. Freeland has a better ERA than the first two pitchers that the Astros faced. 5.31 ERA, 3-13 record. Definitely not getting any run support there, but 125 innings pitched, 156 hits given up. He's given up a ton of hits, well more than one hit per inning. 91 strikeouts, not so good. 34 walks. He's basically giving up a walk every 3 to 4 innings and 18 homers. Another hittable guy. Should have a good day tomorrow. ESPN's matchup predictor says the Astros at 69.2% chance of victory. I don't give too much credence to this, but I always think it's funny to look at because it's often so wrong. But we'll see. Their matchup predictor for today was right. Let's see if they're right again tomorrow. They were wrong on the first day, but you know, we don't want to talk about that, do we? Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Blue Devil, I don't know what time it is for you. You'll have to check that up, but Japan time, it's 3:10. 3:10 a.m. Japan. Whoops. Japan time. For me. That's when it actually starts. But I will go live from 2:55. I usually start 15 minutes before the first pitch. And so for those of you who want to join, feel free to do so. Take a look at this. In the top of the 8th, the Rangers are beating up on the Angels 20-6. Can you believe that? 20 hits. 20 hits for the Rangers. Holy cow. That's insane. Let's go down the list here. Hey, look at that. The A's are beating the Tigers in the second inning, 3-0. Hey. Nice. The Nationals fell to the Yankees. Let's see. Braves beat up the Marlins. Anything else? Yeah, of course, we mentioned this earlier. Unfortunately, the Submariners beat the Padres 4-3, but that's okay. The Astros go back to 1.5 games ahead. This win earlier brought the Mariners within one game, but the Astros won today, so we get another 0.5 on them. We are 1.5 games up. The Red Sox unfortunately beat the Orioles 3-2, and the Twins let us down against the Blue Jays 9-8, unfortunately. Nothing else going on. Of course, the Astros beat the Rockies today 4-0 with just 7 hits. We need a lot more hits than that, but we had some big hits, so that's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. All right. Anything else going on in the live chat before I'm out of here? Let's see. Bunch of youngerns. Bubba says 45 here. I'm no youngern. Youngern at heart. Sam says good win. I agree. Charlie says wild thing. You make my heart sing. I need to go back and watch that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. Let's see here. Go Astros, Daryl says. Indeed. Yep. Great win for sure it was. Let's see here. I wasn't born in January, but I wasn't far off from that. If you were born in January, Ed, I'm right after that, just 2 months later. Charlie says, a good game for sure. Let's go. For sure. Orange and blue, baby. A young Xer, 79, Charlie says. I'm right in the middle of the 70s. I'm a 75 kid. Way to go, Jordan. You're welcome, Death Before Dishonor. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for the support. Blue Devil says, I've been looking for someone born... Why? Why? Way to go, Astros, now to get some sleep after yeah, have a good rest, Ed. You've earned it. Alvarez is definitely a big deal, Slammy. You're right. Did they just give all two of it? Yeah, no, he's got the day off. He was there hanging out. He's got the day off. He's got an earned day off. Alexander's been our best starting pitcher for the last month, says Eric. That's right, he has been. He's been very dependable. So hopefully we have another solid outing tomorrow. You have a blessed day too, Daryl. All right, lunchtime in Houston for that game? Yeah, it seems so. February 5th, Daryl. That's not too far from my brother's birthday, actually. My brother was born in February of 1974, but 12 days after you. Super close to my brother. I mean, it's interesting when you meet somebody who was born on your birthday. I've actually met a few people who were born on my birthday. The exact day, I've met several, and I've actually met a couple who were born on the exact same day in the same year. That's pretty interesting. It is definitely interesting, but I'm just wondering why you're looking for somebody. You said you were looking for somebody who was born on your birthday. But if it's just interesting or fun, I can understand that. But that's it for the Astros today. How many likes did we wind up? Did we get to the 75% like to viewer threshold today? Let's see. I know that we were up to at least 143, maybe 150 viewers or more. And we didn't even get to 100 likes. We're only at 93 likes. That's disappointing. Should have been over 100 likes today for sure, especially with the Astros winning and Jordan hitting homers and just overall good vibes. The live stream should have been over 100 likes. Easy. What in the world is going on? If you have not liked the live stream, we still have about 50 people watching. Please do so. We just need 7 more likes on the live stream to clear 100. That would be a big thing for me. A simple, easy thing if you have not done it. I think that's the first time I've had to mute my microphone and cough this whole live stream today. That's a big improvement. That's nice. It's nice to have that improvement on my health. Maybe it's because I'm not taking the blood thinners anymore and it's not causing me to have the fluid in my lungs. I guess that's the reason why. But you know what? Astros did so well today. I think it's time to go eat. Until the heat wave passes, I can't really do my fasting plan. It's too much stress on my body to do the fasting and deal with this heat at the same time. So I'm going to go down to the cafe and relax. I'm going to enjoy this win. I'm going to savor it. I'm going to have myself a nice high protein meal. Thanks to you guys and gals. Thanks for your support. Love you all. Eric says, how do you become a member? Actually, Eric, if you look right below the video, there's a button that says join. If you click that, then it will show you how to become a member, and you'll have 3 choices. No matter which choice you choose, you will be able to use the emojis in the chat, in the live chat, but there are different levels depending on how much you'd like to support to each month, but also there are different extra perks at different levels. I only have 2 members right now in my highest level, but the only extra benefit to that level is having the private live chats, and I'm about to plan one of those. I haven't planned one yet just because I only have 2 members, but I want to give them a little something special because they've dedicated to giving me the highest tier membership. But yeah, prayers and good health to everyone, Still Viper. Thank you so much, and thank you again for your wonderful super chat, and thank you to everyone else who has donated or supported the channel. Much appreciated today. Absolutely much appreciated. Blessings to all of you. Robert says I don't see join. Well, you know, if you look below the video, there are a couple of different links. There's like a subscribe button. There's a, well, okay, hang on just a second. Let me try to show you. Let me pull up the actually, let me try to, can you now, of course, on my screen I have the edit button and the analytics button because this is my channel, but right here there should be, right next to my name, if you click on my name, okay, if you click on the channel name and you go to the main screen, okay, this is the main, let me resize this so you guys can see it. There we go, that's better. This is my main channel, right? My main channel page. If you go here, then you should be able to see the join button. It's a little different on my channel because I'm the owner of the channel, and of course I'm logged in, so I have different buttons. But from the main channel, there should be a join button. So I would recommend you go here to become a member. Let's see, membership tab. Let me see if I can give you a link. Might be able to give you a link. Let's see. I closed out my my chat there. Let me reopen it. Can you click on that? Maybe that will work. Yeah, it takes you to the main page. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, let me show you this on the screen. When you go to the main page right here, can you see right here? There's my main page. There's my logo. Right here is where you subscribe, and there's the join button right there. If you click on that, then let me resize that. There we go. If you click on this, it asks you, do you want to join this channel? Sign in to become a member. Of course, this is on a different browser. I opened this in a different browser just so you could see what it looks like. Because on my screen, when I'm signed in, it looks different because I'm the owner of the channel. But basically, you can subscribe or join from the main page. It's right there. You see it? There you go. Does that help? I hope so. Thank you so much. On the phone, yeah, maybe it's a little different, but I think if you go to the main page, the main channel page, then you'll see it. But yeah, I can't look it up on my phone. I can't look it up on my phone though because, you know, obviously, I mean, I've got my phone right here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. I do have my phone right here, but the problem is that I'm the channel owner and I can't show it. I mean, I could kind of show it on screen like that, maybe. But the problem is I'm the channel owner, so what I see is going to be a little bit different than what you guys see. Let's see, view channel. Let's see. Okay. Maybe if you click on membership. Okay, so if on the app, if you look on the app, let me close this. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see that. Okay, so here's the channel, right? On the phone app. And if you go down just a little bit, you see here it says home, videos, shorts, live, playlist, etc. You have to scroll. Let me show you right here. Okay? You have to move it. You see that? You move it over and you see memberships. You see that? So you click on memberships And then there you go. From there you can see about becoming a member. If you don't see the memberships button, then you'll see a join button. And if you click join, then you can become a member that way. But anyway, there's also other ways to support the channel. If you notice, if you look right here, I've got several links. All of these links right here in my description: PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, and Patreon. So there are other ways to support the channel. If you want to chip in, it would be greatly appreciated. Highly appreciated. But that's it for now. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And I will see you later on for Game 3. Until then, go STROS. And I will see you tomorrow's. Bye-bye for now.